Yeah. Come here. Yeah. I ain't your ordinary hustler. Keep it soundless till the goal achieved. Front runner for my team, I do this for my family. Woke up thinking about my daughter being stolen. Got a lawyer, ain't no help inside my corner. I'm gonna do it by my lonely.
Oh, look, this is a quick story time about how pride got the best of me, bro. Like it just struck me. You feel me? Look, okay, so I was working at this job, and I was working at this job for a good minute. I had just hit a year. And as soon as I hit a year, I got my my little hourly due times, what you get your little time in. And I messed up, and I just was like, all right, I see all these people that have been getting fired. And I'm telling you, they getting fired left and right, left and right, left and right. I'm like, dang, twin. But it's over the smallest things. I mean, not smallest things, but it's over you not coming in on time, basically. And you know how a job gets when you're not coming in on time. Like, you're going to get so many chances. So for me, in my head, I'm just like, well, as a matter of fact, let me switch it up. Let me get some of the sunlight. Look. So I'm like, well, shoot, that can't be me, twin. I'm legit thinking this in my head, but I'm not gonna lie to you. I was putting in the work. Like, I'm coming in on time. I'm coming in an hour early. I'm coming in doing what I gotta do, putting in the work in. When they tell me to go unload a truck, I'm getting paid like $20 an hour. You feel me? But when they tell me to come in to work, and they tell me, oh, I come in, I need you to go do a whole truck type junk. And I say, okay, a whole truck by myself. Think about that. Like, you got a little machine that's a little just stuffy thing, and you driving it into a thing and it's full of boxes. I'm legit doing this whole truck by myself with no problem. And I can do this for these people. Like, it's no problem as long as I get my money in. And that's what I'm thinking back then when I was on just some regular mindset stuff. Like, there's more to life than just working your life away for a job that will, can get rid of you at any time. So I ended up, I'm working. I'm doing these things for this job. Like, they got me doing constantly just putting in the work, and it boosts my head up because I'm like, ain't nobody working as hard as me. Like, that's my thought process. Like, ain't nobody working as hard as me. You know how much work I put in on this job? You know how much stuff I'm doing? So I ended up going through these situations where, there's so many times where they got me coming out of my own, like, ain't nobody else gonna do this, but I'll do it. Let me go ahead and do this for y'all. And hold on, let me fix my little. Nah, the wind don't want it. The wind don't want it. The wind don't want me to win. The wind don't want me to win, y'all. But look, so I'm doing all these things trying to make sure I'm on point. I'm coming in an hour early. I got rides sometimes because I didn't have a car. Still don't. But I was going in and telling the dudes, the people that gotta pick me up and stuff, like, hey, bro, I'm gonna be ready an hour early. I'm doing everything on point. And I'm doing this for a good 6 months. Then I was able to get a car at some point for a short period. I was able to borrow one. And I'm still coming in on time, like I'm telling you. And they still firing people. Now this job would get strict occasionally where you couldn't be on your phones. You couldn't be going to other lines to talk to people. They would just trip. And as time of me just being on point, I low-key would get a little big-headed. So people would be like, dang, they just got fired. I'm like, dang, twin, why they ain't come in? And then people would be like, well, they do got other things outside of life. I'm like, this your job, twin. Me, I'ma always make sure I'm coming low-key in my head, like, whatever. And this dude hit me up one time with a, well, you must think it can't happen to you. I'm like, ooh. I'm one of them people, I'm always gonna self-reflect for a minute. Like, I'm gonna be like, ooh, Let me not get too big headed. But low key, I'm like, man, you know how much, I be coming in on point 24/7. So me doing that, there was a couple excursions I done had where I made a couple mistakes. I got caught on my phone one time, basically. But it was over some stuff that didn't make sense. Like, I'm telling the lady, she got me on the phone. And I'm like, what, you trying to trip this much? And you know how much I work and stuff like that? And then I started telling her how to do her job, which I'm accurately on point, though. I'm being for real. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm saying the right things. I'm making her be quiet, basically, where she can't even be mad. And it got to the point she called me to the office a couple times. She did all this type of stuff. And guess what I end up? I'm like, man, after putting in some work, and she left me alone for a good 2 months. I'm cool with her boss. I'm cool with her boss and her boss. Just because they know I work. So I'm getting a little cocky. I'm getting a little whatever. So I go and I decide, because I was having a day. I was having one of them days where I just like, man, I deserve to do what I want to for a minute, bro. Like, I'm not coming in. Like, I'm coming in on time and stuff, but just, like, what I'm doing while I'm there. Like, I could have been on another line talking to people or just something like that. Or sometimes I get tired, genuinely, which is understandable. Like, why are you working me like this anyway? Like, if I'm telling you I'm tired, that's that slave mentality that they got us all in right now. So I'm legit just like, man, this don't even make no sense. I'm not finna do this. I'm not finna go crazy today. I'm gonna take my time today. She walk up to me, she like, why you ain't doing nothing for real? I'm like, man, I'm not finna stress over you. I'm just gonna let you rock. You're not finna get me out of character. She legit hit me up after seeing I didn't change after she said something. She was like, all right, come here, come with me. Rolled me up to the office and got me fired, And the whole time in my head, I'm thinking, ain't no way they can fire me, twin. Ain't no way. Now I did on the ride down there. I'm like, this my last ride, twin. This my last ride at this job. No. But ain't no way. Ain't no way you gonna get me fired for this. Like, for me not wanting to come pick up a box and junk like that. But at the end of the day, that was my pride getting too big-headed. And I'm telling you, God will humble the mess out of you, twin. God will humble. You don't know how much stuff I went after I lost that job. I got humbled on so many things, bruh. So many things. Just because I felt I was righteous or I did the right thing where I deserved. It got to the point where I felt like I was like, man, I'm untouchable, low-key. Nah, twin. Ain't nobody untouchable. Ain't nobody perfect. Ain't nobody none of that. Man, and we gonna constantly make mistakes. But I know better now. I'm learning. I'm doing better now. So that's one of the biggest things that I'm working on is just paying attention to myself. Always self-reflect, bro. Always self-reflect. That is so important. If you're not checking yourself daily, God gonna humble you yourself. Anyway, what else? Oh, shoot, I got humbled in my relationship. Shoot, God, let me not talk too much. Bro, this is just a short story time, though. Like, I'm just bringing awareness of stuff ain't sweet, y'all. I'm telling you, stuff ain't sweet.